We're shifting focus now to news coming in from Chandigarh now, where Navjot Singh Sidhu is meeting with Punjab Chief Minister at the Punjab Bhawan. Charanjit Singh Channi had called on Navjot Singh Sidhu as the crisis in Punjab Congress continues. No takers for Navjot Singh Sidhu's tantrums in the last 72 hours. He tried real hard for the High Command to reach out to him, but unfortunately that has not happened. And now Navjot Singh Sidhu is meeting with the Chief Minister of Punjab, and a likely solution could be on the cards. Gurpreet's with me for more on this. Now, Gurpreet, Navjot Singh Sidhu has reached Punjab Bhawan. The meeting is going to begin anytime soon. Are we expecting a resolution?
Well, yes, of course, we can see these live pictures from here, from Punjab Bhawan, from Chandigarh, where we can see that Navjot Singh Sidhu has just reached, his cavalcade has gone inside. Anytime the Chief Minister is expected to be here, so the meeting is underway. And at the same time, we can see the Harish Rawat from Delhi High Command. He has already reached here. He is meeting both the leaders to come out with a solution. And what we are picking up at this point of time, High Command has also briefed the Chief Minister of Punjab, Charanjit Singh Channi, that if any bureaucrats needs to be changed, then there is need to have a discussion with Navjot Singh Sidhu. And it seems that there is possibility Navjot Singh will be able to put his weight again on the Chief Minister of Punjab, Charanjit Singh Channi, but that things will be clear once he will be able to come out, and the meeting will be continued for some time. And now it is expected the Chief Minister of Punjab, Charanjit Singh Channi, can come anytime. So all these discussions are underway, but what we are getting from the sources, a lot of leaders, they had already discussion at the length, and the feedback of all the bureaucrats.
The feedback of all the bureaucrats which Navjot Singh Sidhu wanted to replace, that had already been taken by the party high command as well as the Chief Minister of Punjab. Now it is yet to be seen whether the Chief Minister of Punjab will be able to put his defence why he has appointed all these officers, why Advocate General has been appointed for this thing, when there are a lot of issues for this thing. And now the discussion is expected to be here with the Chief Minister as well as Navjot Singh Sidhu. And as the visuals are very clear, Navjot Singh Sidhu has just reached here, so within a few minutes discussion will be started, and there is a possibility that there will be a solution for this discussion, and that's why Navjot Singh Sidhu has come from Patiala to Chandigarh. But one thing is coming out of all this controversy. This time nobody has gone to meet Navjot Singh Sidhu the way we have seen so many times. Harish Rawat used to go to Navjot Singh Sidhu and placard him when there was any controversy and Navjot Singh Sidhu was annoyed from some issue. But this time the party high command has made it very clear that these discussions should be held at the party level, at the state level, and there is no need to bring such problems to the party high command, and especially in Delhi. And Delhi will not intervene this thing. At the same time, Harish Chaudhary has been sent by the party high command so that if Navjot Singh Sidhu is not withdrawing his resignation, after that the plan B should be prepared, and that should be implemented immediately, because that is the only solution with the party high command. There is need to appoint somebody as a Congress chief, but the sources here in Punjab Bhawan, they say that the files of the officer had already been called. Some of the intelligence feedback have already been taken by Harish Chaudhary as well as other leaders also, and the CM is also looking into this thing. He is discussing with a lot of other leaders who were also supporting Advocate General as well as the DGP of Punjab, so that there should be a healthy discussion, and the feedback from all the quarters should be taken from all the ministers. And otherwise, if they are going to replace DGP as well as the Advocate General under pressure of Navjot Singh Sidhu, there will be more infighting within the Congress. So that's why what we are picking up at this point of time, that is also one of the reasons why the Chief Minister is getting late at this point of time, because continuously he is having a meeting with the other leaders also, especially the Deputy Chief Minister who has already got Home Department, Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa. He is also putting his weight on the Chief Minister, saying that he is supposed to run this Home Department, and he will deal Advocate General as well as the DGP,
right.
And that's why his consent is also equally important to take all the possible multiple expectations that if they
Absolutely,
are
and
going to
he
replace
set the tone
DGP
for this
as well
meeting
as
right before he entered into that room or entered into the Punjab Bhavan. Navjot Singh Sidhu Gurpreet actually took to Twitter where he spoke about why he has issues with these appointments and how they stood with those families that were affected by the decisions that these two IPS officers took a few years ago, and Sidhu will continue to stand with them.
Well, that yes, of course, because this is the way only Navjot Singh Sidhu wanted to even put a lot of pressure on the party high command. One side, he was the one who was instrumental, and he had given his choice officer to Charanjit Singh Channi, the newly appointed Chief Minister, that these officers should be appointed as a DGP and all these things. But other party leaders had some differences. They say that every officer by the recommendation of Navjot Singh Sidhu should not be appointed in Punjab government, and after that we have seen that how Navjot Singh Sidhu had created hue and cry in Punjab politics, and immediately after that he had submitted his resignations because he wanted to mount a lot of pressure on the party high command, and the decisions by the Chief Minister of Punjab Charanjit Singh Channi should be withdrawn. Now the party high command has already made it very clear, if he has some documents, if he has some issues related to these officers, he should have talked to the Chief Minister of Punjab Charanjit Singh Channi, and at the same time other leaders, like I have already told you, Deputy Chief Minister Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa, he should be taken into confidence because he is going to deal with the Home Department. He will deal with whether Advocate General as well as the DGP of Punjab. That consent is all equally required. And before appointing this DGP and Advocate General, and what we are picking up from the sources, that consent had already been taken from the senior leader and Deputy Chief Minister Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa, and after that these appointments had been made. So somewhere down the lane it seemed that Navjot Singh Sidhu felt that he was not properly listened, and whatever he has told, diktat he has given to the Chief Minister of Punjab Charanjit Singh Channi, that was not accepted by him. So that was the resentment in his mind, and this time again he is putting a lot of pressure on the party high command. He has already mounted a lot of pressure so that these officers will be changed, and once these officers will be changed, then there will be Navjot Singh Sidhu will be a power center, and everything will be go through Navjot Singh Sidhu. That type of message he wanted to convey, and that's why this whole political drama has been done by Navjot Singh Sidhu. And today we are expecting that there will be some solution for all these problems, and it is yet to be seen whether the government is going to go before Navjot Singh Sidhu and replacing of both the officers. But the sources say that the files and intelligence inputs have already been taken by the Chief Minister of Punjab Charanjit Singh Channi, and somewhere down the lane the party high command wanted to pacify Navjot Singh Sidhu once again by replacing all those officers with whom he has problems. So now there is need to wait and watch to find out how the solution will be coming out. But one thing is very clear, if the government is going to replace all these officers, there will be a lot of bashing from the opposition party, that why did they appoint wrong officer, why didn't they apply mind, and how they will be able to provide justice to the people of Punjab. So all these questions are still unanswered. Once the meeting will be over, the things will be coming out. Navjot Singh Sidhu will brief the media, or the Chief Minister of Punjab Charanjit Singh Channi is going to brief the media. After that the things will be more clear, but the sources say that the strategy is being amended by the Chief Minister of Punjab Charanjit Singh Channi, and why he is late, that is also very important to tell the viewer, because he is having a multiple meeting with, especially with the Deputy Chief Minister Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa, who has played a major role for the elevation of Navjot Singh Sidhu and bringing Charanjit Singh Channi into power and replacing the former Chief Minister of Punjab Captain Amarinder Singh. So that's why his consent is very important. Let's see that if they are going to replace, will there be infighting within the party, or the infighting will be ended. But that seems infighting will never end.
Absolutely. Now, even as we see that happening in Chandigarh, there's activity happening here in the national capital as well. Captain Amarinder Singh has finally wrapped up his 2-day visit to the national capital and is heading back to Punjab. And as he does that, he's dropped a bomb on the Congress party that he is most definitely quitting the grand old party. What he does after this, what next for the former Chief Minister, that of course remains to be seen. Captain Amarinder Singh himself came out and said that he is still exploring his options, but there are no two ways about the fact that he is leaving Congress.
CM.
तस्वीरों में आपको कैप्टन अमरिंदर नजर आ रहे हैं, जो इस वक्त
Pictures from Chandigarh, from Punjab Bhawan, where we are reporting at this point of time. Minister of Punjab, along with other ministers, he has already reached here at Punjab Bhawan. So these are the pictures on the screen.
We're seeing hectic political activity in Chandigarh there, where Navjot Singh Sidhu is meeting with the Punjab Chief Minister, Charanjit Singh Channi.
Sir, what is your take, sir?
Captain, sir.
What do you speak with Charanjit Singh about the meeting, sir?
That was Captain Amarinder Singh there, tight-lipped as he entered into the Delhi airport, wrapping up his Delhi visit. And as he declares his decision to leave the Congress party to end his ties with the Grand Old Party after 4 long decades, the Chief Minister of Punjab, Charanjit Channi, is now meeting with Navjot Singh Sidhu. Gurpreet continues to be with me. Now, Gurpreet, on agenda of the meeting in Chandigarh, of course, is going to be whether or not Sidhu can be placated or they will have to find an alternative, a new PCC chief. But the fact that Captain Amarinder Singh here in Delhi has said that he's most definitely leaving the Congress party, is that also going to be discussed in Chandigarh there in this meeting?
Well, that is another political question which is emerging when the former Chief Minister of Punjab, Captain Amarinder Singh, he has already met Home Minister, and he's also meeting a lot of top leaders of the BJP. So there is another problem for Congress also in this meeting. I'm sure that when we are talking to and confronting some of the leaders, they will definitely discuss the way what we are picking up at this point of time. The sources say around 25 to 30 MLAs, they are already in touch with Captain Amarinder Singh, and if they are going to make any headway from the party, then there will be a floor test, and any time the government will be unstable in the state. So that will be another problem which is coming for them. And of course, at this point of time, we can see that both the Chief Minister of Punjab, Charanjit Singh Channi, and Navjot Singh.
ये सारी कैबिनेट ही दागी है, किसको निकालोगे? सारी कांग्रेस ही दागी है।
कैप्टन साहब का सर क्या होगा? वो तो कांग्रेस छोड़ रहे हैं बीजेपी के लिए, कल वो अमित शाह
वो उनसे पूछे।
सिद्धू साहब क्या चन्नी साहब को ओवररूल करने की कोशिश?
मैं कुछ नहीं कह सकता, वो उनका इंटरनल मामला
बनाने की बात कही गई थी।
वो
एक दलित को सीएम बनाने की बात कांग्रेस ने कही कि वो दलित मुख्यमंत्री,
पर उनको अगर मुख्यमंत्री बनाया फिर कांग्रेस चलने क्यों नहीं देती? उसको रबड़ स्टैम्प बनाया है, क्या उसको अगला मुख्यमंत्री का कैंडिडेट बनाते हैं कि नहीं?
बेअदबी के मसले पर सिद्धू साहब।
The Akali Dal there mounting pressure on the Congress party even as the political theatre takes place both in Chandigarh and here in the national capital. That remains our top focus here on Times Now. But a quick break, back in just 2 minutes.